Title IX and its impacts. Throughout history, sports have played a gigantic role in our society, but it hasn't always been equal. Before Title IX, it was very uncommon to see women participating in sports. Title IX made it so women were able to play sports at a higher level and receive athletic scholarships. Title IX had a positive impact on all sports in the U.S. by reducing gender inequality, broadening the diversity of all athletes, and giving women more opportunities. Title IX states that no person in the United States shall, on the basis of sex, be excluded from participation in, be denied the benefits of, or be subjected to discrimination under any education program or activity receiving federal financial assistance.
Title IX had a positive impact on all sports in the U.S. by reducing gender inequality. In the early 1900s, movements began pushing for gender equality in society. From this, the Equal Rights Act was introduced. The Equal Rights Act was meant to ensure that all Americans were given equal rights regardless of gender. The Act stated, "Equality of rights under the law shall not be denied or abridged by the U.S. or by any state on account of sex." The passing of Title IX was the prominent reason gender inequality was reduced at such efficiency. During the early 1920s, women were commonly excluded, specifically by occupations. Specific jobs such as retail clerks and office typers became commonly classified as women's work.
By the 1960s, the status of women was at its peak after the Civil Rights Movement, which kick-started the strong feminist ideology. The revival of feminism grew exponentially post-World War II and affected everyone. Eventually, the accumulation of force exerted on the government by women was what prompted the passing of Title IX and broke the gender barrier.
Title IX's continuous impact on society frequently encouraged young women to become more involved in sports. This ideology completely broke the gender barrier in sports and taught young girls that they could pursue any path they chose because, as Obama states, women should have the same opportunities as men.
In the early 1900s, opportunities to play sports, get higher education, or even get a higher paying job were extremely hard to come by for women. Women were always stereotyped as the ones that should stay at home cooking and cleaning. Although the Equal Rights Act stated that Americans should not be treated differently based on gender, society didn't make any changes on how women were treated. When Title IX was passed and women were able to play more sports, the way that they were looked at had changed. So did the amount of opportunities presented to women post-Title IX. More women participated in sports and were able to get a higher education. According to the Women's Sports Foundation, since Title IX was passed, female participation in high school athletics increased by 980% and 520% in college athletics. One way that the gender barrier was broken was through the Battle of the Sexes tennis match in 1973. The Battle of the Sexes was a match between a high-profile male and female tennis player. In 1973, Billie Jean King was challenged by Bobby Riggs to an ultimate showdown. Billie Jean King ended up winning all 3 games in front of over 30,000 fans. This had a huge impact on all women's sports.
Before Title IX was passed, women made 64 cents for every dollar that men made. After it was passed, women made 78 cents for every dollar that men made. This gave women a better opportunity to make a living for themselves. They were able to apply for a wider range of jobs and receive a higher education.
The Equal Pay, Equal Play campaign is run by the U.S. women's soccer team, fighting to achieve equal treatment for all female athletes. Currently, there is a huge wage gap between male and female athletes. Even though we can thank Title IX for female athletes even receiving paychecks, there is still a lot of progress that needs to be made.
Although Title IX has positively impacted certain aspects in our society now, many critics believe that it is outliving its usefulness. Critics believe that Title IX has evolved into something it was originally created to destroy. In a detailed article, Stefan Fatsis explained that the basis for that argument is how Title IX is enforced, and continue to show that its existing athletic program meets the interest of women on campus. What this article fails to entail is the simple fact that women are still being paid less than men.
Gender inequality has always been a common issue in society. Though Title IX did not completely diminish gender inequality in the U.S., it has made huge changes for the good of women and for the good of sports in the U.S. By letting women play, Title IX gave more opportunities and broadened the diversity of all athletes by adding a whole other gender to the high-level sports world. Title IX changed the way that women are looked at in society and paved the way to a better future for all women in America.